Hi everyone, Alex from Summerhill here, just with another quick update. Today we'll cover an update on markets and investments given the current conflict in the Ukraine, and an update on our new client portal. We certainly don't wish to be insensitive about the seriousness of the conflict in Ukraine. Our thoughts go out to everybody affected. But the purpose of the update today is to specifically discuss how the conflict may impact markets, how client portfolios are managed, and our thoughts on how to respond. Now, for portfolios that we specifically manage on behalf of clients, within the dimensional funds we typically use, there are a variety of factors considered when evaluating a market or country's eligibility for investment. Now, these might include factors such as government regulation, restrictions on foreign investors, property rights, and market liquidity. Dimensional's investment committee have now removed Russia from its list of approved markets for investment. But I'd just like to remind everyone that given Russia was already such a small weight in overall client portfolios, less than 0.01% in most cases, that these changes are very immaterial. Dimensional has been maintaining a systematic and very deliberate underweight position to Russia compared to typical benchmark weights since 2014, given concerns around the treatment of foreign investors. So the day-to-day portfolio management processes are not going to be impacted by the removal of Russia from its list of approved markets for investment. But what is happening with Russia and Ukraine is impacting volatility, both for domestic and global markets, given the potential for further sustained conflict and higher potential commodity prices, inflation and interest rates. Australian shares have so far been more resilient than other developed share markets, thanks to the higher commodity prices and the stronger dividends. But the world has seen many crises, and uncertainty and volatility are a part of investing. But there are risk management strategies that we build into the portfolio design. And the most effective way to mitigate risk of unexpected events is through broad diversification and flexible investment process. But there are also other strategies that, as briefly touched on earlier, such as due diligence with investment selection, country selection, and ownership considerations. All of these risk management strategies that we think about ahead of time prove their weight in situations like this. Now, given the difficulty in predicting events and how markets may react to those events, the response for what you should do now is a familiar one. Time and again, markets have rewarded investors willing to focus on their goals and stick to their long-term plan. We can expect markets to continue to fluctuate, but the financial media do generally amplify the perceived significance of an event and its expected impact on the financial markets. So you should not let the crisis of the day affect your long-term strategy and sentiment. We obviously will contact you directly if we believe any changes to your portfolios are warranted. Now, moving on, as you may recall from our last video update, we now have a new client portal. The new portal has several benefits, such as extra levels of security for your account and some improved user experience in some areas. But there is certain functionality that has disappointingly been removed by the developers, specifically regarding how we obtain information from you before your planning meetings. And this has temporarily impacted our processes. We cannot justify continuing to use the previous client portal given the developers are simply no longer supporting it. So we have used this setback as an opportunity to review and refine our processes for planning meetings. We've had to implement a temporary measure to obtain client updates via a Word doc format, which seems so archaic to us, particularly given we've been using the online client profile update wizard for over 10 years now. But I am pleased to say that we have been testing new software for which we hope will ultimately make it more user-friendly and streamlined for our clients to update their information before planning meetings. And we just ask for your patience as we implement the new software and the processes into our business over the next 1 to 2 months. And we'll be really keen to get your feedback at our next planning meeting about how it's all going. That's it from us for today. As always, we would appreciate your feedback on content that you would like covered in future videos. Thanks.